Hey strangers.
Hello.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Walt Disney Studios.
We're down here in Los Angeles for 2 whole weeks. We flew in last night, so nothing really happened. We got up bright and early this morning to head down to the studios for an exclusive D23 tour of the studio. It's 2.5 hours walking around the lot, seeing a few different artifacts, lots of
Going
different
into
things,
the archive.
and going into Walt Disney's office as well. So come with us as we go on a walking tour of the studio lot. The only thing, very strict on no video.
So as we can't take any videos, we are going to be taking a lot of photos that we will talk you through, but it's just going to be a bit of a slideshow.
If you're new here, I'm Jake.
I'm Georgia.
We're a British couple who live in Canada and we get to see the world, so come along! Okay, so here we are at home. We're going to just talk you through all the photos and kind of guide the tour from here. Our tour of the legendary Walt Disney Studios in Burbank began right here at the studio entrance, in front of the historic Hyperion Bungalow. This small building is a piece of Disney history. It was originally part of the Hyperion Studio, where many of the early Disney classics were created, before it got moved over here to Burbank.
From there, we made our way past the Sherman Brothers building, named in honour of the iconic songwriting duo behind countless Disney classics like Mary Poppins and The Jungle Book.
Next stop, Pluto's Corner. At this intersection, Pluto's Corner is written on the curb, and if you look down, you'll actually notice 3 dog paws right next to the fire hydrant. Just a little bit of Disney magic there.
We then arrived at the On-Lot Theatre, which has been the site of many Disney film screenings over the years.
One of the highlights of the tour was stepping inside the original animation building. Walking these halls felt like stepping back in time. The walls were lined with stunning artwork that told the story of the animation process, from early sketches to the final frames of some of Disney's most beloved films. After exploring the ground floor for a little bit, we went downstairs and actually saw the tunnels where they would actually run the art from the animation building to the ink and paint building. We were also told this is where animators used to slide on old animation cells down the ramps.
They would even sometimes send Roy Disney's son down the ramps on the cells, and he was just a wee boy at the time. We then continued on upstairs where the animation process was brought to life even more vividly. One display was a detailed diorama showing the animation process from start to finish, giving us a deeper appreciation for how much work goes into creating even a single frame of animation. From there, we learned a little bit more about the animation process as a whole, and we even got a glimpse into what an animator's office would have looked like way back in the day.
Then we reached something truly special. Walt Disney's restored offices, located in Suite 3H. The first room we entered was his formal office. This space has been meticulously restored to how it looked on Walt's last day in office by the Disney Archives, complete with his personal items and even the piano that the Sherman Brothers used to play for him.
Walt would often invite the Sherman Brothers to his office on a Friday afternoon to play him his favourite songs, including Feed the Birds from Mary Poppins. His second office was what they call more of a closed-door office. This was where Walt would do his serious head-down stuff. This is where he would review blueprints, work on big projects like Disneyland, and then later the Florida project, which we know as Walt Disney World. It was fascinating to see some of the blueprints that were still on display. There was even the original blueprint for Epcot.
It was completely surreal to be stepping into Walt's personal offices, and I won't lie, I definitely cried the majority of the time we were in there. The third room originally served as a private retreat for Walt, but since there aren't many photographs of it, this space has been turned into a display area. It features artifacts and memorabilia that tell even more of Walt's story.
After leaving Walt's office, we made our way to Legends Plaza. This is an outdoor space that honours the many Disney legends who've made significant contributions to the company. The handprints and plaques surround the plaza, and it's hard to miss the iconic Team Disney building, which is being held up by the 7 dwarfs from Snow White.
Legends Plaza is also the only place in the world where you can get completely up close and personal with a partner's statue, which was super cool and we had to take photos. Next, we entered the Disney Archives library, a treasure trove of Disney history. One of the highlights here was seeing Walt's original desk from the Hyperion Studio, where he and his brother Roy founded the Disney Brothers Studios. It was surreal standing in front of a piece of furniture that played such a big part in Disney's early days.
The amount of artifacts in this tiny room was absolutely incredible and ranged from Jack Sparrow's screen-used hat to personal handwritten notes between Walt and Roy. We also got the rare opportunity to hold one of Walt's actual actual Oscars, which I believe was for White Wilderness, which was released in 1958. And this was definitely a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that we'll never forget, and Oscars are really heavy.
As we were leaving the archives, we saw one of 3 remaining multi-plane cameras left in the world. The tour continued through the original ink and paint department. This is where many of the early Disney films came to life in vibrant colour. It was amazing to think about how many talented artists worked here, bringing films like Snow White and Cinderella to life.
We wrapped up the tour with a walk through the studio backlot. We saw the famous castle wall, the Disney water tower, and several sound stages where Disney films and shows are still being produced today.
And as we start to wrap things up, obviously no tour is complete before you stop at the gift store.
We finished the studio tour. It ends in the gift shop.
Obviously.
We bought some things. We bought a lot of things, actually.
Okay, we're going to go home, show you a quick haul of everything that we purchased, and then we'll be finishing things up. 1, 2, 3. Okay, here we are at home again. So, from going inside of Walt's personal offices, we were actually given pins, which is super exciting to commemorate the moment. So we got the Mouster and the Duckster, which Walt actually had in his office. These are kind of like internal Oscars within the Walt Disney Company. We also got a pin of the original studio logo, just for being able to go into Walt's office too, which is super cool. And then of course we did show you that big bag of stuff from the studio store. So firstly, George is wearing this sweatshirt. These had just come out that week, a new design style that they'd gone for. So super cool sweatshirt. I got a matching jacket. There's the front. And then same sort of design on the back.
So Jake's design has Mickey, mine has Donald, but you can see like the sorcerer hat, the water tower, the animation building, the Dopey Drive sign. It's just very bright, colourful. It's giving 90s. Yeah.
We also got, I just grabbed a keychain, so you can see there. I also grabbed the exclusive lounge fly, which is pretty cool. It's got like patch style of some of the like landmarks of the studio. I also got this Spirit jersey that I'll show you a photo of because I gave it to someone to try and take it in because it's actually a bit too big for me, so here it is in photo form. And I got a Stanley Cup, which I have left at work, so here it is in photo form. We also got a couple other bits like pens and stuff, but they were just kind of pens that say the Walt Disney Company on them. I did later on find out that the Loungefly and the Spirit jersey that we got, they were both available at D23 last year, so they're not as exclusive as this stuff.
And if nothing else, we got our official VIP pins. So.
Yeah, there you go. No one can buy those.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we go back to Burbank?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
It was nicer there.
Yeah, it was. It was warmer. Wow.
Magic.
Movie magic.
Wow.
Welcome back. Okay, that's us done at the Walt Disney Studios.
Yeah.
I want to say a huge thank you to D23 for allowing these tours to happen. They happen pretty much throughout the year. They only show up on D23's website in 3-month batches.
Yeah.
You have to be just a member. We're just general members. We haven't paid for the membership, but if you're a gold member, it is a bit cheaper to run the tour.
Yeah, I believe another lady on our tour said that she paid $100 where we paid $175.
Yeah, so ours was a bit more.
Yeah.
I want to say a huge thank you as well to Andrea, our amazing tour guide.
Yes,
she was
thank you
super
so much.
lovely.
So knowledgeable, so friendly, so fun.
For the next couple of weeks down here in Southern California, we're going to Universal Studios, Knott's Berry Farm, Disneyland for several days. We're running the half marathon at Disneyland. We're going down to San Diego. We're going to SeaWorld and the zoo. There is so much to look
We're doing
forward
so
to.
much in the next 2 weeks.
And we can't wait to share it all with you. So please consider liking and subscribing. And we hope to see you in the next video.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.